let us begin our lovely topic, Taming the Wind. It is how you become a conscious creator and live a life that is true to you. Obviously, that's if you want to be yourself. So, the spiritual self help group of people, they like, yep, I want to be me. Means you have an inner child adult. So, you have a window welcome to emotions, no laundry. Okay, 5D mystics, we have no laundry. We don't chase our divine masculine or masculines. They don't chase us. We don't run away from each other. There are these things called I'm a person and so are you. So, like with the Little Mermaid. So here, Ariel in the Little Mermaid, she gives up her voice. That's not how the 5D mystic divine feminine does things. It's, hey, Eric, I have a tail. I have a father. Here's all the details. You want in? No? Oh, bye. And as you get older as a divine feminine, that doesn't change. I started as a 4-year-old where I said, nope, you don't get to ride in the car with us, Maria. I'm talking about the human being. So mystics are still humans. Yeah, we don't have magical powers. We have a relationship with the sphere of Akash. That's why we're not anointed in the way of the 4D. They need a mantle. Let me continue. So authentic self means use your human name. Humanity descends. Divinity is here. It's not divinity in the way of the, again, mantle people. Mantles of spirituality, those are spiritual bypassers. Mantles of mental health, those are the people who demonize or romanticize pathologies versus knowing what I know, all trauma is healable if the person puts their best foot forward to wanting to become self-aware, accountable, and regulating. That's very straightforward. In fact, the ones who don't, well, there's the ones who are Pinocchio on that island, and they actively watch movies like Hangover and Mean Girls, and they think that taming the wind means getting on screen and doing a lot of other things. And then we have the other group, they end up in Michael Stone, forensic criminologist. The scale, yes, 1 to 22 or 24, they're all this evil thing, but not the philosophical or religious text way. It's the, okay, since you keep using the word, he said, I'm going to box up and put on, so yeah, it's not imagination, educated people. So all of them need good therapists. That's why 5D Mystic in the Enlightenment Soul Age group, which is not a flat line, you enjoy life more, not less. So when you hear Zen masters telling you that enlightenment is not possible, and then they say laundry when they talk about their emotional plane, you know the Zen master doesn't know how to use the prefrontal cortex, it's called, and that emotions last 90 seconds, and that we don't minimize it just because our brain organizes itself to have one pathway. So the neurosciences, they know a lot more and how to better explain it, but I'm pseudoscience lady, remember that, okay? Spiritual self-help, it's for people who want to put their best feet forward, hands, and brain. So they actively know how beautiful mental and emotional intelligence is. So you need fancy words, by the way. We also don't think of there being any shortcuts to healing trauma, FYI. Yes, we also don't think of emotions as needing to sound like a teenager the entirety of your life and listen to music that actively creates just these dramatic scenarios. Does anybody not get bored of triangles? I've noticed our grown-ups, women and men my age, they have not healthy worth at all. In fact, they continue to think that suffering and men treating women in certain ways and women treating men in certain ways, really what it is, Patrick Tian, what was it? Oh, the lowest bidders. So yeah, and what else? Police Secure book with Jessica Fern, what was it? Oh, the ball and chain thing. Yeah, so those lame ass, gender and marriage stereotypes that people use when they say, well, that, sure, Pinocchio, Peter Pan's, all of it. Go have fun with your 7 to 14 charming, which are part of the evil scale of Michael Stone. And they like to be fancy with words. In fact, they easily manipulate words that the same lost boys, lost girls think Peter Pan is cool for. I noticed their 14-month-old is ruling them, the 3-year-old, with shame, and they don't notice that their person that they've put on a pedestal is actively Balthazar, or what was it? No, Stromboli. Excuse Stromboli from Pinocchio. We use these types of characters here. I do. Your lovely podcast host and mentor for the ones who will do mentorship. So we tame our wind. The wind is my left and my right mode. It's called integration of the brain. We don't need fancy words, but I can inform you about neurosciences know that enlightenment is possible. In fact, one of them says, we really need to stop saying it's a supernatural. I loved his interview. He should meet the Zen master who talks about laundry because he explains what I know how to tell you. It's beautiful to have bliss in your body all the time, not just sometimes. Your whole 3-year-old heart is what mine is. And then it keeps expanding. It's also beautiful to know what faith is with the Holy Spirit and with intelligence, universal love, and a Reiki master who knows, wow, theologians went out of their way to do shit. That the only people who will fall for it are the same ones who think yoga brings demons out of you because they don't know Peter Levine or Patrick McNamara. So, let's keep reading. And so you live a life, as you can see, that is true to you, but that's because you want to be your authentic self. It's a very different. So you have your self lens, solo self, core self, no shame button. Otherwise, you're still basically going to walk into supermarket, as Patrick Tiahan shares. He's a childhood trauma survivor, and he's healed, and he's a therapist. He does a really great job at sharing with people who want to heal what projection looks like. You walk into supermarket, the cashier lady looks at you, and you turn to your friend and say, she's a bitch, she just looked at me, weird fucking whore. Wow, that's extreme. Or, you know what, I think I did something wrong. Did I do something wrong? I must have done something wrong. So I do meet people that actively have all this. They don't want to hear any of the explanation. They say, Maria, no, like the avoidant attachment lady who doesn't want to journal or do mindfulness or meditation because she says, why should I do it? It's boring. Also, why therapy? They're boring too. They keep telling me I'm doing a good job. I don't want to do any of it. Plus, people are all fucked up. So I'm just going to stay with this excruciation thing. I'm adding this part, the excruciating. I lost something. Anybody know the Billy Joel song? Yes, that sacred something that you're looking for. Also, that sacred something that Sadhguru will inform you of, that spirituality you're looking for. It's your 1-year-old. Anyone want to become a full-blown. So that's what self-help right here, and spirituality helps people who have that. Yep, I'm my own safe haven, secure base, or I can get here. And if we need extra help, we got good therapists. I know a network of them. And that's why we don't actively date Strombolis. We don't date anyone that is not going to actively know how to talk to us like Pacha. And then to know that we have 24 hours, so your mood, it's not going to be a laundry. No, it's called we chit chat, we witness, we process. We don't need to pretend. The teenagers pretend. That means they're suffocating a poor 3-year-old and not allowing the 1-year-old to feel safe, which means there's no secure attachment in the body. So it's an Ariel who goes through what all of Ariel does before finding out that Eric accepts her the way she is in the first place, which actively a smart man, woman, or they will know, as I did as a teenager, what true love is. It's not you actively teasing me. So I have the story. Here's the story. This cute boy I would flirt with. He's really tall. I think he's still alive. I don't know. But I came in very excited about my new shoes. And as soon as I walked in, ta-ta! So I got the sentence of, don't think with those heels that we're going to be a couple. You're still short. It doesn't look good aesthetically. And in my head, I'm like, that's not love. But it's okay. I'm having fun. So he's not my boyfriend anyways. And that was it. And we kept on flirting. And then I got an actual boyfriend who then showed me what I definitely can tell you all is not impressive, which is why we're going to talk about divine feminines and why science keeps us humble, and divine masculines. They can have clairs. They're not impressive. Between Cusco and squirrels and what else from Emperor's New Groove. Yeah, so I'm going to finish reading this one up first. So we do know our authentic self. My name's Maria. Welcome aboard. Oh, we don't filter our mouths, not even a little bit. In fact, actively, when I meet people with eggshells around them, I learn about it and I say, oh, I'm so sorry, I stepped in the wrong place. You know what, forgive me, I broke one of your eggshells. Let me put it back together. Humpty Dumpty fell off the wall. It's okay, I'm going to put it, and I will not be coming near you. If you want, you can come out of your eggshells. As you walk out towards me, I will wave from far, far away because I don't want to hurt my feet. I will let you know. I don't want to hurt my feet, and I don't want to hurt your eggshells because they are yours. So I think the pokety poke is going to hurt. So you know what? It's good. I am going to go out. There's a door right there. So that's where true spirituality, life of meaning and connection beyond the solo self, doesn't mean that I need to actively allow a projecting. You know what? She is a bitch. Why didn't you take my side? Because you're making assumptions based on a stare. Anyone know if you're looking for the truth? Don't assume anything, just seek. Yeah, Sadhguru, thank you. Or how about this one? Seeking means admitting that you don't know. She didn't look at you. You don't know that. Yes, she did. She might have been looking over you. He might have not been looking at you at all. No, Maria, no. You just think too good of people. I don't know, but I'm thinking you're assuming a lot of shit that didn't even happen yet. So seeking means admitting I'm a seeker. Divine feminine will know we don't know everything at all, and we don't read their brains. Even if we can, we won't be that cocky to say I can read your brain. That's only for the people. I proved I'm right. See, I told you a month ago that this stuff would happen. The ones with clairs. It's funny how they do that. Once you have cleared your slate, the truth can imprint itself upon it. That's when you are an integrated brain, like here. We're curious, open, accepting, and loving. So yeah, the cashier, we don't know what she did. If I feel uncertain, Maria, it's okay. If she really doesn't like you, I'm pretty sure she's a grown enough or he's a grown enough human being to speak to your face. If not, it's okay. I'm not going to make it my concern. Why? Because, well, again, the point of what I just said is the only people who think they know everything and then they go out assuming based on nothing except for a stare and body language are the very same people that don't know what it is to be a healthy self-worth woman, man, or they. That's it. No eggshells here. It's, yeah, you have, wow, a very, very interesting adaptive child attitude and maladaptive child attitude. I'm so fond of you, Cusco. You know, I'm going to go expand my consciousness somewhere else. So I get to tame the wind of mine as I get to be a person who knows how to share the 3-year-old floor. That's what self-help, spiritual, and more if you want to. You don't have to. So your infinite higher human conscious potential capacity, it is when you choose to put into practice the inner growth mindset. That's how I call it here, but it also involves our lovely mind, sight, and mindfulness practices in our day-to-day, and that leads to your mental, emotional, and physical intelligence. So when you are taming the wind, you will be well-rounded with mental, emotional, and physical mastery, which is really empowering. Your restored embodiment, self-aware life is really beautiful. Accountability is fun. You just get more curious, open, accepting, and loving, and you don't engage with too many of those donkeys or Pinocchios, by the way. And you bring forth life, inner and outer well-being, because your social engagement system, that ventral vagal toning, you don't need yoga necessarily, because once you are consistently your inner child adult, because you're being yourself, like me, you're like, wow, they call me a whore. Look, they call me a masochist. Hey, look, those people think that polyamory overestimate the usage of their brain. They must think they're stupid. I think I shouldn't tell them that in their face, though. That would be something not nice. If you can't say something nice, say nothing. So an inner child adult, we remember all that stuff. Don't point, it's bad manners. Don't blame, it's bad manners. Okay. So that's why we also have healthy self-worth, which is where we don't put up with, we don't put up. We get curious about those who don't know healthy self-worth. And we do learn how not to tell them that they're being basically pulled by string by what is not a divine feminine, that is a stromboli who is actively blamer or martyr superior, but they will actively defend with all of their life. As you try to say you're beautiful just the way you are, you're actively having somebody point a finger and tell you you're a piece of shit, treat you like shit, and I'm telling you by voice, you're actively beautiful and you're correcting me. This has happened more than just once in my lifetime. And actively, if somebody corrects me about me trying to say you're beautiful the way you are and you're getting somebody to treat you like a piece of shit, well, fascinating. No, it's called toxic codependent relationships. All of them could use Patrick Tiahan. It would be a lot cooler if they got childhood trauma therapy first and then talk to me about what romance is. And polyamory, by the way, and just love. None of those who know human suffering yet have moved into what love actively is, meaning the inner child adult of you knows when you have had healthy self-worth child-centric environment, like Gabor Mate points out, your 6 basic human emotions to be allowed to be as a child. You will be accepted as you are lovingly, as this is a divine feminine knows all about this, and then you do not work 1 even inch of your day, of your life to be loved. Unconditional love. You have flaws, so do I. Integrity gets taught by a true divine feminine because nurturing means that I have you be welcome in your little childhood body. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If not, the ones who are not ready to forgive their caregivers, they can go to Patrick Tiahan versus get online and continue talking like they know what they're doing. They don't. Actively, no person chooses trauma. So the people who are healing, you'll notice who they are. They will continue to have a very, very venomous tooth, like an angry squirrel from Cusco land, along Cusco lands. In fact, it's not good or bad. Every ear will hear what voice they want to, because that's exactly where we vibe as a tribe. So the 5D collective, those who come here, it's for spiritual self-help with Jesus, with unconditional love. And then I get passionate because I think of all these people who think love is actively poking at each other. And then the people who defend these people because they put them on pedestals and they actively don't even notice that they're following the 7 of 14 charming, which are all Peter Pans. And that they're being manipulated by human beings. It's not an entity from the sky. No. You can go watch. I can pinpoint them if I wanted to. I don't waste my time. They're too much. So, taming the wind makes you a smart human being, intellectually, emotionally, and physically, which is, oh, I'm an Akashic record reader, so I learned all about this mastery, and I'm really having fun with the physical mastery. It's pretty much done. Spiritual awakening, Kundalini awakening, they're not a shit show. We will have an episode on that one later, because we're going to be talking about divine feminines and divine masculines. And so that inner and outer well-being as a healthy self-worth, self-empowered, enlightened person who uses mind, heart, and body in harmony. That is thanks to you choosing self-awareness, accountability, and regulation as a mindful person. So you do know how to be a seeker. And if you're 5D mystic, you know that every day you get to choose to be true to being yourself when those lovely people of our oversoul, divine masculines, will come around. The divine feminines are all people who are their inner child adult, and some begin with no, again, separation. We don't lose anything, and others, they actively instead, well, they can get here if they want to. I'm looking for something, 1 second. Yes, so conscious creators. We tame the wind with healthy self-worth and an inner growth mindset because we tame our thoughts and our emotions, and then we create what is lovely fertility. So we'll close on out with this lovely oracle card from this sacred activations guidebook. And the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. When you have an integrated brain, which is what I have, in a restorative embodiment, self-aware life, accountable and regulating, you have flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, stable brain. Your left and right work together, all hands on deck. Thank you, Dr. Daniel Siegel, for the explanation. So my default mode network is down-regulated, doesn't scan self or other. I don't use Isaac, internally oriented, or Abraham, I believe, externally, or vice versa. I use Jacob because I'm in my ventral vagal state. That's my eustress versus distress. This is why you get inner and outer well-being. It's not a competition. It's a day-to-day practice, like spirituality, which is not a career. It's a lifestyle. The lifestyle is you get to choose to expand to your infinite higher human conscious potential when you do practices every day. You can inquire on one-to-one mentorship or our master class, which will be a closed number, and at some point we'll have spiritual retreats. That's because I love being a spiritual self-help person. So your woo-woo is not going anywhere because mystic I am, faith I am. I just had to use different words now, but I never turned my back once on that which I got taught personally from my catechism and Jesus. And everybody else who wants to keep talking to me about the fear-mongering monster that they want to use words with, I will not in any way, shape, or form meddle with that. I know history enough to where I'm like, okay, yes, Roman Empire didn't notice. They could have noticed, but you know, masculines. Rabbi. What are they, masculines? Rabbi, the lovely rabbi who doesn't know what a feminine actually is, because he says how masculine, in order to tap into their infinite higher human, no, he says infinite potential, that masculines have infinite potential. I love how they accentuate these 39 different ways. As a feminine, what I can tell, you know what, I'm going to save that for our next episode. Tune in if you're curious about that. To be continued. Like, share, and subscribe if you do know of people who are interested in spiritual self-help. Seriously, not the ones that I want it, I want laundry. They can go to the Zen Master. So those are all people who are not ready to do mindfulness, mindsight, or mindset. They will find an Elsa Journey mantle to wear so that they can be teenagers. Like those popular kids that didn't do much afterwards. Yes, because when you become a stagnating pool of energy, it's because your brain isn't working with the left and right. It's now thinking it knows everything. That's why you have the flatlined enlightenment people or the Zen masters talking about laundry. It's just, it's a done deal. I know all. Wow, you really don't. You not waking up blissful every day shares with me you didn't actually continue along your path. But you're here for probably those people who need to hear about loss and pain that way. Because the human suffering love narrative is there for a reason. There are dark matter, dark energy. There's this invisible matter of sorts. I'm done because I can't explain it yet, but I know of it. I know of the infinity, double infinity, right here, Fibonacci brain. So divine feminines, we know. You know what? I'm sounding like a philosopher right now. I want to keep it kind of practical. So we're out. Thank you again for stopping by.